It started with a single flicker, then the entire street went cold. This is not a toy. This is a hunger that cannot be fed. You found it in the attic, buried under layers of ancient dust. The screen was still glowing, even though the batteries were long dead. You pressed the center button and felt a strange, cold, electric shock. A small, pixelated skull appeared, where a happy pet should have been. Outside, the first transformer exploded in a shower of brilliant blue sparks. The neighborhood fell into a deep, unnatural silence that felt quite heavy. You tried to feed it, but the digital food icon simply vanished. Then the living room lamps began to dim to a sickly orange. Something was moving behind the curtains, but there was no wind tonight. The Tamagotchi chirped again, a sound that sounded like a human scream. You realized the power wasn't just out. It was being pulled away. The refrigerator stopped humming, and the air in the kitchen turned freezing. The screen showed the pet had evolved into something with too many limbs. The neighbor's house went dark next, a wave of shadow crossing the street. You tried to throw the device away, but it stuck to your palm. Every digital clock in the house reset to the exact same wrong time. The pet was hungry, and it wasn't satisfied with just the local grid. A tall, spindly shadow appeared in the corner of your bedroom ceiling. The phone lines hissed with a voice that sounded like dial-up internet. It was a language of code and hunger spoken through the dead wires. You saw your own face reflected in the screen, but it was hollow. The power outage reached the city center, a black hole in the sky. The Tamagotchi began to heat up until it smelled of burning ozone. You realized the creature wasn't in the device, it was using it. A hand made of pure static reached out from the television screen. The lights didn't just go out, they were eaten by the digital pet. You tried to scream, but your voice came out as a glitchy mess. The pet was now the size of a dog, lurking in the shadows. Its body was made of flickering lines and dead pixels of light. The whole neighborhood was a graveyard of dead electronics and cold homes. You found the instruction manual, but the pages were all completely blank, except for one sentence written in what looked like dried black ink. The Tamagotchi's plastic shell cracked open like a wet, hatching egg. The creature inside was finally ready to meet its new master today. You ran to the garage, hoping the car would still start up. The car battery was drained, the metal cold as a winter grave. In the rearview mirror, you saw the pet sitting in the back seat. It wasn't a pet anymore. It was a god of the blackout. The garage door wouldn't open. The electronic motor had been completely fused. You were trapped in the dark with a thing that feeds on energy. The creature's eyes began to glow with the light of stolen souls. It whispered your name in a voice that sounded like your mother's. But your mother has been gone for 10 years, hasn't she now? The Tamagotchi's heart beat faster, a wet thumping against your very ribs. You felt your own energy being siphoned into the small plastic device. The world outside the garage simply ceased to exist in the dark. There were no stars, no moon, only the glow of the screen. The pet reached out a pixelated claw and touched your cold forehead. You were being uploaded, piece by piece, into the tiny electronic cage. The neighborhood was gone. Only the house remained, floating in the data. You remembered the first time you forgot to feed it long ago. That was the day the first bulb in your bedroom finally died. It has been waiting for this moment for 25 long, dark years. The batteries weren't dead. They were just waiting for a human heart. The power outage was a dinner bell for the things in the wire. You are the source of power now, the battery for its hunger. The walls of the garage began to dissolve into scrolling lines of text. Every neglect, every forgotten meal was a debt that must be paid. The creature leaned in close and whispered the secret of the void. It said that light is only a temporary glitch in the darkness. You tried to close your eyes, but you could still see it. The image was burned into your mind, a permanent, glowing red error. The neighborhood reappeared, but everything was slightly different than it was before. The trees were made of polygons, and the grass was flat green. The sky was a low-resolution texture of a cloudless afternoon sun now. You were back in the living room, holding the device once more. The pet on the screen was happy now, dancing a frantic jig. But you noticed your own hands were made of gray, blocky pixels. You couldn't feel the plastic anymore. You were part of the plastic. The neighbor knocked on the door, but their face was a scream. The power outage hadn't ended. It had just become the new world. You tried to find the reset button on the back of the shell. You pushed a pin into the hole, and the world finally screamed. The colors inverted, turning the sky red and the grass deep purple. The pet appeared in the middle of the room, 10 feet tall. Its heart was a spinning hard drive, louder than a jet engine. You realized you were never the owner, only the temporary food source. The darkness returned, but this time it was inside your own eyes. Everything you knew was just a series of electric pulses. The pet clicked its beak and swallowed the last light. The neighborhood exists only as a file on a drive. You are just a bite of data in its stomach. The lights will never come back to this street again. The silence is the only thing left to hear now, unless you remember to feed the pet tonight, user. The power is waiting to be taken from your home. It is watching you through the screen you hold. Don't let the battery die, or it will come. The darkness is hungry, and it knows your name. Keep the lights on, as long as you can. Because when they go out, you are its pet. Sleep well in the cold, dark, digital void tonight. The game is over, and you have finally lost. Goodbye, little pet. Goodbye, little light. Goodbye, world. Goodbye.